and welcome to the Chase It Asides, live from the National Tally Room in Canberra, where over the next 4 weeks we'll be bringing you all the results, swings and trends as they come to hand.
It's great to be back, covering what I believe to be the most important federal election since the last federal election, and I can't recall a tighter contest.
Well, it's certainly shaping up that way. In fact, if we have a look at the state of the board, based on the results in so far, there's really nothing splitting the parties at all at this stage.
Oh, well, look, these zeros, I think they're very early figures, and I reckon this trend will change once voting starts.
Maybe, although on the computer projection, that Democrats figure looks as though it will hold.
Well, let's have a look at the House of Representatives. How's the chamber looking?
Well, it's interesting, actually. If we have a look at the lower house, you'll see that this is how it currently looks. But if the chamber had been built using materials from James Hardie, then it would probably look more like this.
So, John Howard or Mark Latham, who will Australians choose as their Prime Minister on October 9? Let's have a look at how the two contenders stack up head to head.
Yes, very much a battle of experience versus youth. Just taking a look at Howard firstly, if we have a look at his vital stats, resides at the Lodge 2 nights a year, names Menzies, Churchill and Pauline Hanson as his greatest influences, and his biggest regret, spending his honeymoon with Jeanette instead of Don Bradman. Whereas if we compare that now with the challenger...
Yes, well, Mark Latham. His age varies, of course, depending on whether he calculates it on a weekly or annual basis, resides in St Vincent's Hospital most of the year, and names as the biggest influences on his style Whitlam, Clinton and Jeff Fennick.
Well, I think a lot of voters still see Latham as a bit of a wild card, but I've been really impressed by his ability to stay on message.
A little bit too on message at times. I think I'll go mad if I hear him say he's the squeeze once more.
Well, he's based his whole campaign on that simple rhyme. So just hours before the great debate, we decided to offer Latham our Ease the Squeeze challenge.
Where's the chip buddies? We'll have 4 chip buddies, please. And do you want anything yourself? And Mark, I bet you $50 you can't say Ease the Squeeze 7 times tonight.
You haven't got $50. Your budget's
I don't have it
been
here,
slashed.
but we'll give it to you.
Okay, it's
$50.
Craig, isn't it?
Yeah, $50.
Craig, Russell.
Close, you're good.
Russell.
Yeah. It's like tax and levy. It's very hard to say. Distinguish between what it is.
He doesn't know my name, but he loves a wager. But was he prepared to jeopardise his great debate performance just for $50? Let's see how he went.
I want to ease the squeeze on Middle Australia. Ease the squeeze. And when we're easing the squeeze, we've also got to ease the squeeze on Middle Australia and make sure that easing the squeeze on Middle Australia, it eases the squeeze, easing the squeeze on Middle Australia.
He made it look so easy.
Could have gone for another 7 if we'd asked him for.
Yeah, amazing dedication to a bet. Latham not only won the money, but also, surprisingly, the debate.
Well, the Worm certainly gave it to Latham after Howard scored very poorly on the issues of Iraq and school funding. But if you thought the Worm didn't like Howard, just look at how it reacted to Malcolm Farr.
Chris, is that how you called it?
Well, don't talk to me about the debates. Absolute amateur hour. And I don't mean to harp on about it, but I still can't believe that I wasn't invited to be on that panel. And it was highly embarrassing for me because I turned up to Channel 9 on the day, naturally just assuming that I'd be part of it.
Yes, can I help you?
G'day, Chris Taylor from the ABC. I'm here for the debate tonight.
We're not letting any media in until 6 o'clock.
No, I'm part of the panel. I'm part of asking the questions during the debate. I'm the head political correspondent for the ABC. No Chris Taylor. Christopher Taylor. Just Mr. Taylor sometimes I get. There must be some mistake. I can't imagine they'd go ahead and have the debate without me.
Sorry to disappoint you, Chris, but all the members on the panel are in. And,
A little bit late.
okay. Yeah, we can't return it, unfortunately.
Why not?
We've gone straight to the top.
Let's go high. Can we get maybe Kerry Packer on the phone? Because I'm not leaving here until I get a seat on that panel.
You just have to bear with us. We'll let someone else come in.
Yes?
Just step aside.
Who's this?
And
Bloody Neil Mitchell. What? You'd have Neil Mitchell on this debate ahead of me. He's a glamorised DJ. I've had a f***ing gutful. You don't want me on the panel. You don't want me on the panel. How on earth can we have any kind of credible analysis in this country? This is... Who have they got? Who have they got? Jim bloody Middleton. Michelle Grattan, she's blind. Has anyone seen her glasses? She won't be able to see the leaders on the panel. Absolutely outrageous.
Mark Latham. Clean cut, clean spoken, and 100% family friendly. Bullshit he is! For one night only, the old Mark Latham is back. Hard drinking, foul mouth, and more violent than ever before. Australia may have forgotten, but there's one taxi driver who hasn't. Now the cabbie wants a rematch. election, there's only one contest that matters. Mark Latham versus the cabbie.
Head to head, toe to toe, let's get it on. Me and him.
Book now for the ultimate grudge match.
Yeah, Bob Hawke's got it. Shoe in. He'll shit at him, Bob Hawke. Shoe in.
Live from the National Tally Room, you're watching The Chase at Decides. And Andrew Hansen, it must be strange for you as a former advisor to be sitting on the sidelines now. You've run so many campaigns, John Howard in 2001.
Yeah, well, actually, I ran both Howard and Beasley's campaigns in 2001. It was a bastard of a year, but luckily I got one of them up.
Can I ask, what did you make of Pauline Hanson's decision to run for the Senate?
Oh, look, I think it was a big blow to Howard losing Pauline, his most senior policy advisor. But if you believe the polls, I think she could do very well.
Well, there's no question there's a big sympathy vote out there for her, given she is someone who not only had to endure a false prison term, but who also must now endure a ballroom dancing show hosted by Daryl Summers.
Well, one man getting no sympathy is Ross Cameron, the Liberal MP in the key marginal of Parramatta and a very active member.
A little bit too active. Despite being an outspoken advocate for family values, Cameron's admitted to having an extramarital affair.
Well, I told him, I said, you're too honest, Ross. You'll never have a future in the Liberal Party with that kind of honesty.
But look, for mine, the media just has no role in prying into politicians' private hypocrisies like that. I agree. I don't ever like to report on a politician's private sex life and only ever do so to stop Laurie Oakes beating me to it.
So was Cameron's confession electoral suicide or an electoral asset? I hit the streets of Parramatta to help promote his new platform.
Hello, ladies. How are you?
Hello, how
Here you are in Ross Cameron's election. You are lucky, ladies, aren't you? What do you think of his new slogan, "It's a matter of lust"?
I don't think my husband would approve of that.
We're finding that a lot, actually. The husbands were against Ross.
I haven't thought about it.
Ross has thought about you.
Oh, has he?
Yeah. Do you think he's been a good performer?
Oh, yeah, by all accounts.
He was the morals campaigner.
Immorals campaigner. What about this one, Ross Cameron? He's rooting for you in Canberra.
Not for me personally,
Not for
but
you
I
personally?
have heard.
I hear he's rooting for the whole of Parramatta.
Oh, that's a lot of stamina there.
And you haven't been polled by Ross?
No, I haven't. Thankfully, I haven't.
Yeah, well, you're one of the few, I guess, yeah. What about give him one on election day? Do you think that's the kind of thing? I mean, a lot of people are saying, and Ross is promising this, that if you put one in his box, he'll put one in your box. What do you think about that?
I think the one I'd like to give Ross, you probably can't show on camera.
Ross Cameron, we finally got those campaign posters you wanted, and we've been trying them out. They're working really well on the streets. Ross Cameron, he's rooting for you, one of the favourites. What about the second family values one? People love that one. You've got to use your strengths, Ross. Just take it.
Thanks, Phil. Appreciate your advice.
Thanks very much, Kat. We'll put them out, OK? And more good news for Ross Cameron this week, receiving a personal endorsement from Bill Clinton.
Well, look, we can all throw stones, but, I mean, is Mark Latham really any better? You know, he's been through 2 wives already, and this week he seemed to be racing off with a 3rd.
Well, let's take a look at some of the key seats now. Julian, you've got any figures for Guantanamo Bay?
Well, it's very difficult to get any information out of Guantanamo Bay, Craig. A new electorate in this election. And as you can see, a maximum security seat. Yes, certainly one the government hasn't shown a lot of interest in consistently ignoring the concerns of residents there. I think this will be very difficult for them to win. Well, in fact, it wasn't even clear if the 2 Australians living there would be able to vote in the election. An issue I took up at the US Embassy on a recent trip to Canberra.
We're just wondering if the ambassador's in.
No, it's not. Sorry.
He's not in?
No, did you have